Well, hello, my beauties. We haven't made a video like this in a while, but given, the recent circumstances, and I would say now that things are slowly starting to calm down, I figured, why not? So I guess first things first, well, you guys should have already seen the title of this video, at least the first half of the title, but, where's your hand? Can you bring it a little closer, please? Yeah, that thing right there, that right there, and this thing right here, this costs a lot more than this. This costs $1 singular on Amazon. We're engaged. Yeah, woohoo! We already had our celebrations at this point. We're just like, yeah, we're engaged, woo! Simply put, we've been engaged for 2 months now. We've had the idea of it for a little while now. There were a lot of things that were in the way. Main thing being, the legalities. You guys should know about this. I've covered the legalities here and there, mainly over the past summer, around the time that Tiana's was opening. I was going a little bit more in depth into all that. But now that all that's done, we can actually go public with it, which is actually really great. But there is a little more to the story. And if you follow me on Instagram, you should probably know this, but we were actually set to move to Southern California in mid-May after this lease was over to work at Disneyland. Unfortunately, that is not happening.
Yet.
Yeah, that is our key word, yet. I didn't know if you were going to say yet or if I had to say yet. It's not happening just yet. And I will be honest, as heartbreaking as it is, given where we are at in this very moment, and I mean this exact moment right here, we're not as bummed and heartbroken as we were when this news was given to us that this move would not be possible. There's a lot of reasons why this isn't happening, and I'll be honest, most of them are more bad than good, unfortunately. I think really the best thing that is coming out of us not moving is that we are finally moving into our own place. We are moving into a one-bedroom apartment in mid-May. After this, we are actually moving back to the area where I'm from, which is actually really cool. I absolutely love that area. If some of you know me personally, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, but I absolutely love that area. It's fantastic location, albeit a little bit more on the pricey side, but personally, I don't really care. It has everything I want and need, and hopefully it provides the same thing for her, but you never know. But I think we really need to cover the negatives, and I really want this video to be a takeaway for some of you guys, whether or not, you are theme park employees, whether it be cast members, team members, whatever you may do, I really want this to be a takeaway. The biggest negative when it came to this move was that we got screwed over big time. And I mean, very, very big time. As I'm sure you guys know, we live with 2 other roommates, one of which is not here at the moment. We unfortunately don't know if and when he's going to be coming back, although we know he is doing very, very good. You guys should know who I'm talking about at this point, Gage. I'm not going to go too in depth just for his privacy and safety, but he's doing really good. He's doing really good. We're very, very proud of him for where he is at this very moment. There is another roommate that we had who unfortunately decided to screw us over in the worst way possible. And there are external factors that I'm not going to get into. I don't even want to say legal reasons, but just for peace of mind reasons, if you will, because it's not really worth bringing up at this point. But simply put, we thought we could trust this person, when in reality, you could not trust this man to hold a door open for you. That's how bad it was. In fact, we were all set to move. At this point, we were basically just saving up money. We had the apartment in mind, we had the jobs set, and things were going good. We just needed to save. Unfortunately, what had happened was we ended up getting very, very close to losing this apartment. It got to a very unfortunate state of panic to where we basically had to dig into our savings and then try to get some help from our respective families to help cover other things that would have prevented us from losing this house. Now, of course, we're still here. This is the same background you've seen in that last video that we made. It's just a very unfortunate situation that has kept us here. So what we've decided, both us and our families, is that we're going to be staying here in Central Florida for another year. And hopefully throughout this next year, I think it'll give us time to not only learn about ourselves, not just as a couple, but as people when it comes to our respective living situations. As I'm sure you guys know, I've lived down here for a while. I've had various roommates, various situations, and that saga is still going up to this point. Hopefully, when it just becomes us, hopefully those situations won't ever happen again.
I can attest. I've been down here longer and I've had worse situations with roommates, so I'm definitely on the same page as him. Hopefully, this will be the epitome of roommates and just being together as a couple, as just each other.
Yeah, because I think in our case, especially as a couple, it gets a little awkward at times because, you know, you have your loving romantic couple, then you have your roommate roommates who, I don't want to say don't care, but just aren't really there to witness it. They don't really understand it. That's kind of where we're at this point. You know, one person is all for our relationship. They absolutely love us, and that's great. But then the other person acts like they want something to do with it when in reality they don't. And that's the issue that we've been facing over the past, I would say, maybe 8-9 months at this point. So quite frankly, while we are still a little heartbroken at the fact that we can't move to California just yet, I think this will be very good for us, not just in terms of building as a couple, but as people. Because of course, this is going to be the first situation where we are basically living by ourselves. We're not going to be considering ourselves roommates in this situation. We are strictly a couple living together like any other loving couple would. And hopefully this will alleviate tons and tons of stress, which will in turn help motivate us to get to California in, I would say, a much better fashion. That is basically the negatives when it comes to this. It's a very, very big negative, but at the end of the day, that's life. Not everyone is going to like you. Not everyone is even going to respect you at that point, and you just have to learn to live with it. But now getting back to, where is it? This thing right here and this thing right here, the fact that we are engaged, which is crazy. I will be honest, I did not think this would happen. I did not think that, even just a year ago, me being a very, I wouldn't say romantic, me just being a very lonely man. Because while, I had my friends, I had my family, I had my roommates, I was still very lonely. Only for, this lovely lady to come around and, want me to be her partner out of nowhere. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, I am very, very happy at the fact that not only am I engaged, obviously that's a very big honor, but I'm engaged to, I would say, the most loving person I could ever ask for. And hopefully, she feels the same way about me.
No,
I mean,
not at all. It's totally one-sided.
It's because I'm a vlogger, I take more pride in this than I do my own relationship.
And all kidding aside, this is definitely, you're gonna hear this all the time with all the people getting engaged, but it was the easiest yes I've ever made. And coming from someone who was already previously married and engaged, this was the easiest yes that I've ever said in my life.
I just think at the end of the day, this was bound to happen. I mean, obviously you guys have seen both of us on camera for a while. Even before we announced that we were dating, I'm sure you guys could tell there was definitely something in the air. And even before we decided to announce that we were together, I mean, the idea of engagement was definitely flying through my mind simply because I just knew it was meant to be. I know that's probably the cheesiest thing you could say, but it's a very real thing. So all in all, while we've had quite a few hiccups up to this point, it's safe to say that, we're doing better. We're doing better. I mean, obviously we're getting out of this place in basically a month and a half at this point, because our new lease at our new place starts right before May. I think like the last day or two before May, which is pretty crazy. Which at that point will give me plenty of time to document this, because it'll definitely be something very interesting to do, documenting a whole move, because let's be real, this is a pretty big move. I mean, we're going from a 3-bedroom apartment with roommates to a 1-bedroom apartment with just us and all our doodads. So at the end of the day, all you guys really need to know is that we're still here. We're still trekking on. It's been difficult. It's been quite difficult, but we're still here. So yeah, I thought we would just make this little video just giving y'all some more updates. And there are a few more updates that we do want to give, but at the moment, it's not really the right time. Now, normally I would give the whole like, subscribe, share, ring that bell nonsense, but because this is a more serious video, I'm not really going to do that. All I'm going to say is just take care of yourselves, stay beautiful, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.